Hey, what's up everyone? This is Anthony from Anthony's Customs, and this is part 7 of the question and answer videos. Again, you guys have a ton of questions for me, so I'm happy to answer them. Let's go ahead and get started. I should have found a question first. I didn't find one before I started this time. Okay, here's a question. We'll start with this one from Steven Medrano. He wants to know if I'm going to collect more JoJo figures. Nope, I don't have any JoJo figures. The only JoJo figures I have, or have had, got turned into other figures for customs. So no, I have no interest in the JoJo's Bizarre Adventure story, or figures, or anything like that. I'm getting a lot of questions that are duplicates at this point, but that's okay. We'll just keep going through them. What is the favorite figure you've ever made or customized? Can't answer that one. I tried to before, it didn't work out, so sorry, I can't answer that one. Here's one. Here's a question. Cat, don't do it. The cat's trying to get to the camera. What is your favorite Halo game? My favorite Halo game is Halo Wars. No, I'm just kidding. Did have the coolest cutscenes though, maybe second coolest to Halo 4. My favorite Halo game is Halo 3. I really liked Halo 3. My second favorite is Halo 4. I really enjoyed Halo 4 because I read the books. If you're a Halo fan, read the books. It makes the game 100 times more enjoyable. So actually it's probably a tie between 3 and 4. I really liked 1, but at that point there wasn't too much in terms of the fiction. So 3 and 4 are the way to go, if you ask me. Is my phone going off? It's not. Alright. My favorite paints, sculpting material. That's not a thing. Unless you mean paints and sculpting material. I can answer that. My favorite paints are Testors brands, and my favorite sculpting material is Play-Doh. Believe it or not. No, it's Av's Epoxy Sculpt. And I'm not sponsored by them, so I'm saying it because I mean it. That's from Marvel Universe Lover. B. Smith suggests that I make more toy hunting videos. Well, here's the thing. I don't know if I brought this up before, but I'm a kind of a large person, and I'm definitely a grown-up person, so walking around the toy aisles with a camera talking to myself doesn't go over too well. So I don't think I'll be doing that anymore. Plus, I don't go hunting too much. I get stuff online pretty much, so that's probably not going to happen. Excuse me. Just Minesto 2, a pretty regular viewer, asks, why do you buy figures that you know will be crappy? I know that there's a thing, or that there's being a completist, but then that also supports the toy company to half-ass on more figures because they might think that they can get away with it. Well, they can, and they're going to either way, because if I don't buy it, somebody else is going to buy it, because some mom walking down the aisle is going to buy it for their kid, so it doesn't really matter. And I don't always buy figures that I know are going to be crappy. It depends on the line. For example, DC Universe Classics, I have every one of those figures, so I can't skip 1 or 2, like Commandi or Ice and Fire. I can't skip those just because I don't like them. I have everything else, I might as well get those too. Whereas for Marvel Legends, there are some that I'm not going to ever pick up. There are just too many Legends to have them all for me that I don't have already. I have most of them, but there are just too many that I don't care about at all. And I'm not going to bother getting them unless I stop climbing on stuff, cat. There's too many that I'm not going to get unless I end up getting hitting the lottery or something like that. So it's just a matter of completing the lines that I want to complete. Otherwise, I don't buy them. So that's why pretty much in terms of Marvel Legends and DCUC, those are really the only lines I'm going to have things I don't like, I think. I can't think of any other lines. Halo, I guess. I'd complete the McFarlane Halo lines. But there's only like 2 that I didn't care for, so it's pretty much just to complete the lines that I need to complete. Or I go crazy if I don't complete them. Nah, not really, but it's something I figure, like I said, if you have 99% of them, you might as well just get the rest and complete it. Why not? Alright, Action Figure Hunter, which is the best Spider-Man figure you own? My favorite, I don't know about best, because there's a bunch that are technically good, but my favorite is the McFarlane Spider-Man. I like the design on it, and I like the range of motion, so that's the one. Already answered those questions. My very first action figure, not my favorite or the first one I bought, but my first one ever. That is going to be the Superpowers, Batman, or Mr. Freeze, I believe. Yep, I'm pretty sure that was it. Now, of course, I didn't buy it for myself. I was a kid, little kid. Oh, did I say who asked that? That was Rebel Spy 618. Alright, here's a question from Bulk Hide. What drives your desire for collecting? Where does the passion for it come from? Is it a source of inspiration or just a hobby? I don't know. I think yeah, that's a good question. I don't know if I've thought about that too much before. It's not like I don't have friends, so I collect to satisfy that. But I don't have friends, so I think I collect to just satisfy that. No, I'm just kidding. I think, you know what it is? It's interactivity. That's exactly what it is. I think I talked about this actually before. It might not have been the exact same. I think that was on the question for like statues and action figures. But it's really the same thing as far as why I collect. I do it because I like to not only have something tangible of things I like. Like, for example, I started collecting Marvel stuff because I watched the 90s cartoons as a kid. And so I wanted to have something of that somehow. And yeah, I can watch the DVDs of the show, but it's not really, there's no interactivity. So having the figures gives me something to interact with. I don't know how else to say it. So I think that's what it is. That's the driving force behind my collecting. I don't collect things I don't have any interest in typically. There are lots of figures out there that are really cool that I don't have. I did take a gamble with the Gundams because I didn't have any connection to them. But after I got one, I went through and watched all the Gundam series, and now they are right up there with everything else. So I don't collect things I don't like, so it has to have a connection and it has to be something interactive, which is also why I don't really do statues too much. And it is a hobby, so it's not just a hobby or that, it's a mixture of both. So that was a good question. Thanks for asking. Here's a good one. Beast Mode Thoj. I guess that's how you say your name. Sorry if I got it wrong. Have you ever thought about doing a retro review video series on old toys and action figures like Migos, Star Wars, or G.I. Joes? No, because I don't have any and I have no interest in getting any. I personally, I'm sorry if you like Migos, I have no interest in that line of figures. They don't appeal to me at all. They were before my time. I just don't, there's nothing that draws me toward them. I'm not a G.I. Joe fan, I'm not a Star Wars fan especially. I mean, not especially, I'm not a particularly big Star Wars fan. So, as far as retro figures, no, I don't have any. Currently, I got rid of all my old stuff like that, so I'd have to go through and buy it again, which I don't want to do, and it just doesn't interest me, so probably not, sorry. I might go through the Beast Wars videos or figures if you guys want to see those, the Transformers Beast Wars, but that's about as old as my figure collection gets. Good question, though. Okay, here's a question that's kind of similar to one that I've already answered. Johnny B5809. What age did you start collecting customizing, and what's the youngest age group you think would be good to start at? Also, do you have an Instagram? I don't have Instagram, and as of right now, I'm probably not going to do one because I don't think it's really necessary with YouTube. I already post videos of everything, and I take pictures for my website, so Instagram doesn't seem to have a benefit to me right now. I started collecting, again, when I was a little kid, when my parents bought me stuff, but that doesn't really count. So when I started buying for myself, I was in college, and I think the best age to start is when you can financially afford, or when you're financially stable enough to buy what you want to buy without it being a detriment to the rest of your life. So whether you're a kid and you have birthday money and you want to buy things whenever you can only, you know, you're not like selling or trading your lunch money for figures, that's fine. Whenever you're able to spend the money responsibly and get what you want, that's a good time to do it. That's I think that is the only way to do it. Can I make a video on how to sculpt? No. There's no way to teach you how to sculpt. Not really anyway. There are technical things involved, but nothing I can tell you is going to be as valuable as you doing it for yourself. So just start sculpting and you will be able to figure out how to do it, or you won't. Some people don't have it, some people do. You have to have some natural talent, but the rest is all experience and practice. And then you'll figure the rest out on the way. I didn't take classes or watch anybody do it. I just started doing it, and now I can do pretty much what I want to do in terms of sculpting. So just get out there and get the experience. There's no substitute for experience. That was from Leon Rodriguez. Overlord Toy Reviews wants to know what my favorite toys were as a kid. That's, like I said, the 90s Marvel. What were your favorite shows, movies as a kid? Easily, my favorite show was, okay, there were two. Beast Wars. Absolutely loved Beast Wars, which includes Beast Machines for me. And the 90s Batman animated series. Loved those two shows. And then also the other Marvel shows, I like those. That's pretty much it for the shows. As far as movies go, things that were related to those, but I think my favorite as a kid, my favorite live action or film, full-length feature film, would be the first two Ninja Turtle movies. Third one, forget about it, but the first two, definitely up there. Alright, let's do a couple more. Here's a good one from Drunk Panda Inc. I never stopped to read that, I don't think. I always thought it said Drunk Pandemic. Never read it before. Now I know. Thanks for your question, Drunk Panda Inc. Do you have any figures you've never opened? Yes, I have. Aside from extras, I have two. I have the gold Master Chief that was Halo Points reward thing. I kept that in the package because it's a nice little thing, and on the back it actually refers to it as if it's a real little memorial to Master Chief. So I thought that was cool, so I kept that in the package. And I have the Silver Anniversary Master Chief in the package because it'd be easy to fake one of those. I wanted to make sure that in terms of being in the collection, it was officially a legit piece. So those are the two things I've never opened. And then his other question, which I kind of answered a little bit on here, is he asked how in the world I got my Player Sky Wonder Woman to stand up on her own. She was standing right here on the shelf. And he asked if I used a stand. I did not use a stand, I just balanced her. She does have good feet for standing. They're small, but as long as you balance the figure properly, look at the center of gravity, look at where her heels are in relation to the rest of her body, you can do it. It can be done. I have faith in you. It'll work. Alright, one more for this video. I think that's probably around the 10-minute mark. Here's a question, a customizing tip just for you guys. I don't give these out a whole lot, but here's one from SGXTP. What paint is best to paint a Marvel Legend with? Little or no paint rub. The paint has nothing to do with the joint rub, guys. There's nothing you can do. There's no paint you can buy unless it's somehow some kind of permanent bonding paint that I've never heard of that will on its own prevent joint rub. You have to deal with that separately. It's not the paint. So keep that in mind. Alright guys, that's the end of part 7. Thanks for watching. Thanks for the questions. Keep them coming. Post them in the comment section below. Stay tuned for more figure reviews, custom figures, and other good stuff. And in the meantime, keep collecting.